Ladies and gentlemen, the Incredible Hoax!
Da-da-da! The Incredible Hoax. You happy now?
Well, the last 1 or 2 times we did the show, you didn't do it. You threw me all off.
Yeah, apparently my timing was not good enough for you.
It wasn't a timing issue.
I was the jackal screwing up the whole project.
I don't think it was a timing thing. You just didn't do the Dada thing. And I'm used to you doing that. You didn't do it. I didn't know what to do. I froze. I panicked.
Well, I figured that, sometimes there's a bleed over with our theme song. So it's like, yeah, I don't need to do all that. And
bleed over, speed over.
Speaking of segues, theme song, we should explain.
All right. Well, first, we took a little bit of a hiatus.
Yes.
Because I've just had a lot of stuff going on. And it's, this takes however long it takes to shoot.
Right.
And what prep work we do. And we have to get a time together. We meet. We talk about it. We do it. And then you have to load it. And then you have to edit it. Then you have to export it. I just haven't had time.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been burnt out.
We have to have time to have our barnstorming sessions at the Kittyland at McDonald's. And then, things like that.
Yeah. So we haven't done a Hoax show lately just because I was on the ragged edge.
But hey, they were on spring break. So, hey, we were on spring break too. We deserve a break.
That's what we'll call it.
We deserve a break. Hey, that's from McDonald's too. See how it all comes together?
I didn't get a break though.
Give me a break. Give me a break. By the way, Cowboy and Lucky, last night. So whenever y'all see this, it was Dead Man's Game.
Dead Man's Game.
That's one of my favorites so far. I like that one.
Got a lot of positive feedback on that.
Yeah, obviously it has the Dirty Harry reference to it too.
Right.
But no, it was well done. I really enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, and there's some good tension between Cowboy and Lucky.
Yeah.
And when they're in that overpass.
Yeah.
Breezeway, so that was really cool. And there's even an explosion that's really well done.
Did you like the explosion?
Yeah, I like the explosion better than I did the smoke.
The smoke, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was it was okay. It was all right.
it was the best we could do. It was the best I could do.
No, it was
I'm not
fine.
a graphics person.
No, it looked fine. I think the thing that I as I was watching. And this is a good thing, because anytime you watch something, you go, how do they do that? Mm-hmm. That's a good thing, because that means you're kind of invested in the story. I'm watching, and of course, Kayla's got her hands tied on that boat.
Right.
So Cowboy takes her off the boat. Right. I'm like, how the hell do they do that? Because,
with her hands tied?
Yeah, with her hands tied. I'm like, oh, crap, she can't swim with her hands tied. I wonder how they did that. I thought maybe they were in stand-up part of the river. Maybe that's how they did it. It looked pretty...
her hands are tied. But he just pulls her in, and they go under, and he just pulls her right back up, and we cut when they go under. So they're only down there like a second, and you cut, and it's easy. He's got a hold of her the whole time.
Yeah, but I was just saying though. For most people when they swim, you have to be a pretty good swimmer if you can only swim with one arm. Does that make sense?
Well, Russ used to be a lifeguard.
Oh,
he's
okay.
a teenager or something like that, or 20, I don't know. But he's a good athlete. And he can do all those kind of things. Now, me, she would die if she was in my care. If I had to go out there, I'd suck wind and she'd be dead.
Well, if it was Martin Riggs saving her, like a Lethal Weapon, he'd or Lethal Weapon 2, get off my back, get off my back. All right, get off my back, get off. All right. Joe Pesci's like, well, are you going to save me or not?
Yeah. So, that's how you do that. And then when he's hanging off the bridge, there's a rope tied under his groin holding him there. You're just trying to shoot around the rope and those type things.
Well, y'all did a good job. It wasn't like, y'all needed a shot where you just had a long shot of him holding there. Yeah. But it looked. I didn't even think twice about that. It looked like I was like, hey, Chris is in good shape. He's holding off. So that's editing can do that.
Well, it's tied around and under his leg and through his groin, and it's tied to the deal, and he's only hanging there for a little bit long enough to get the shot.
Yeah.
And then and if you saw any pain in his face, then it was real because it really was hurting. The boys down there.
Yeah.
All your body weight with a rope and everything. Yeah. That was real pain.
I've seen enough behind the scenes on other movies where there's a lot of wire work,
Right.
and everyone, even the ladies, like, nobody likes it. Nobody's a fan of it.
Yeah.
So let's just put it that way.
So I'm glad you liked that episode. My favorite
I
one's
did.
coming up. You're actually going to be in next week's. Show Me Some Skin.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I've already told our mom and our sister. I said I'm not a pervert. I only play one on TV.
Yeah, he plays a major pervert. His character is a major pervert.
So hopefully that'll soften the blow. And I was like, and it's a comedy, ha ha, funny.
Yeah, he's a major.
Milton Berle used to dress like a woman, so ha ha.
I think the next 2 episodes will make some people uncomfortable because
of the deviant.
Well, yeah, because
behavior.
Show Me Some Skin. There's some deviant things going on.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Yeah.
And then the next one's Bad Ranger, and the Bad Ranger himself has some dialogue in there that's pretty damn brutal.
Right.
So he pushed the envelope with dialogue in Bad Ranger because he tells these. Well, you have to just wait to see it, but he tells this story about something he did on the way into town. Do you remember? Did you read that script?
I don't think.
Oh, so you don't want to
I think that's one of them that you sent me because it was later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bad Ranger. Show Me Some Skin, which is coming this week in Bad Ranger. If that they'll probably get some people, but that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay, the theme song. We're
Yes,
finally
theme
going to come
song.
clean on the Incredible Hoax theme song.
Yeah.
You
Ready?
want to tell the story, or you want to tell it?
No, you go ahead. Yeah.
All right.
Because I'd like to hear how you decided.
Okay.
All right. I'll start and I'll hand it over.
Well, you set up what the song is and everything else.
I was trying to find this song, and I'm kind of an '80s film.
Historian.
Yeah. Whether it's music or film, I guess. So I was trying to find this song, and I remembered from American Anthem soundtrack, and I swear to God, it's true. I actually had the cassette soundtrack to this.
I remember that.
To this movie, because if you remember the girl dancing it, she danced to this guy. Her friend of hers had like 6 synthesizers or whatever it was. He was Thomas Dolby and played this very synthy kind of thing. Well, I was certainly a synth nerd,
right,
and still am.
Yeah, we had the Casios.
Yeah, so I really thought that was cool. So I ran out and bought the soundtrack. Well, on the soundtrack is a song called "Take It Easy" by Andy Taylor, and I just thought that was a great anthem. And I'll hand it over to you.
So I have a way of finding music and other things on the internet. I won't go beyond that. I'm just saying I know how to find things. So he asked me to find things.
Yeah, to help me point where to look.
Exactly. So I was trying to find it, and I couldn't find it. Not in the usual places.
Right.
So, somehow or another, I found the music video to it.
That's right.
And I thought, well, I'm an editor. I can just drop the music video into the editor and just export the audio, so he'll have the song he can have on a CD.
Yeah.
So that's how I got him the song. Was I just found the music video. I don't even know where I found it anymore. But I found the music video, dropped it in the editor to make you the song. And for whatever reason, I was playing it, and it's kind of cool, but kind of corny and cheesy at the same time. It's kind of one of those songs that you'd play and listen to your car and probably jam to, but if somebody's with you, you'd both laugh at it. So it's like if you're alone, it's cool. If you're with someone else, it's cheesy. It's one of those types. To me, it's one of those type songs.
Well, it's like anything that has that. If it obviously sounds like from the '80s, just.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe 10 years from now, '80s will finally have wore off its corniness that some of the music had.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
No. No, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's kind of like the '50s. The '50s. There's a limit to how uncheesy it'll ever be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they'll always be somewhat cheesy, mostly because of the saxophone. Yeah, when everybody makes fun of the '80s and they always make fun of synths, that's really not the instrument they should be making fun of.
Saxophone.
The saxophone was the most overused instrument. I don't know what the deal was. Oh God, the saxophone. Anyway, so I got to playing it.
Everything, yeah.
And then, for some reason, it became an in-joke between everybody here, Red Sea at the office, Russ and Chris, we would start making fun of it or singing it or whatever else.
Oh, the Take It Easy thing?
The Take It Easy song. And then I just decided, well, that should just be the damn Incredible Hulk anthem. So I dropped it in and made it the Incredible Hulk anthem. So that's the legendary story of Take It Easy.
Well, I remember firing up. You was like, "Hey, well, the episode is the one with the one that we shot recently. It's on the internet, so I went to check it out." And all of a sudden, it comes up, and rather than that stock music you were using with the ching 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 ching,
which I kind of liked.
Well, it had that between two ferns type of sound, which is I think what you were going for. And then also I hear this "Take It Easy." I'm like, "Oh wow!"
Yeah. So that's the legendary story of.
So I kind of started the ball rolling by remembering that goofy song to begin with.
Exactly.
It's like, leave it to me to be the only one that remembered that.
Well, to me, it's a song kind of like Twisted Sister. See No Evil. You're gonna burn in hell.
Oh, I love that song, "Burn in Hell." Yeah.
Well, to me, that's a song. If you're by yourself, it's cool. But if you're with people, it's just corny.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just like that.
Fooey on them. I'll play that anyway. There's certain songs I just because I have kind of a warped sense of humor, I suppose. But yeah, that's one of the songs I played during the 4th of July.
You're gonna burn in hell.
Well, I'm kind of an anti-authority kind of guy, so you could draw your own conclusion.
See, now you sound like you're all anti-American or something.
Oh well,
you probably gotta qualify that.
I'm not. I'm big time patriot. Yeah.
I know you are.
But I'm also kind of complicated, so that's part of the mystery of being me.
And what makes you an Incredible Hulk?
Yes, exactly.
All right. So what's on the discussion board for today?
Well, let's knock this out real quick, just because
it's almost like a business meeting. Let's get this off the table, Joe.
Well, we were we were deserving a break and having some McRibs at the Kittyland, and
well, I'll say one thing though before you do that, because this movie was rated NC-17 and then he knocked it down to R. Was I saw Blue Valentine,
yes.
and we'd already made our Oscar predictions.
Yes.
And now that I've seen Blue Valentine, I want to change my Best Actress pick.
Okay.
To Michelle Williams. I think she was phenomenal in Blue Valentine. I mean, I'm glad Natalie Portman won and she deserved it and all that stuff. I'm not saying that. But if I had to cast a vote, it's kind of like Mark Ruffalo. I voted for Mark Ruffalo, even knowing Christian Bale would go ahead and win anyway.
And he did.
And he did. Well, it's the same thing. Even though I know Natalie Portman would win and should win and everything else, I wanted to cast my vote for Michelle Williams because she was just phenomenal in that movie. She was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, I was happy.
I mean, it was a really, really brave, gutsy, deep, layered, emotional performance. It was painful performance, and not the obvious painful like Natalie Portman on the physical side and the psychosis or whatever. But this was a more tragic, realistic sort of pain. That she conveyed. It was phenomenal.
Well, she's not. Her performance was kind of restrained in a way. There are a lot of stuff that she's dealing with internally. So it's not a very showy in terms of she'd have these big soliloquies of dialogue. So if you watch thinking you're going to see that in Blue Valentine, you're going to be disappointed. That's not really. If anyone's the more verbal, it's actually Ryan Gosling's character.
And he's phenomenal.
And he's terrific.
He was nominated too, wasn't he? I believe he was. Wasn't he?
I don't think he was.
Was he not?
But I would have had no problem had he
been.
I had no problem had he been nominated, but no, I don't think he was.
I love his De Niro. He does a sort of De Niro thing. He repeats things. Ryan Gosling does. I could tell he really aspires. Robert De Niro must be a huge.
Well, and he's transforming himself too. And
he looks somewhat Travis Bickle like in Blue Valentine.
Well, that got him in trouble in one movie because he ended up showing to the set looking so different.
Transformed.
Yeah, so transformed that the director says, "I that's not my vision." So he lost the part. The Lovely Bones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, instead of Mark Wahlberg, it was supposed to be him.
Really?
And he showed up and he was a little overweight and all that. And he said, "Well, this guy, he's really distraught. He's kind of letting himself go." And Peter's like, "Yeah, that's not the way I want to go." So I mean, he's the producer, so that was it. That was all she wrote. And he was kind of upset about it, but I'm like, well, before you gain weight and go
Probably
that
should have
direction,
talked about it.
you kind of like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, Mr. Jackson, I'm thinking about doing this, and he could have said, "Yeah, don't do that." You
Yeah.
know?
Well, back to Michelle Williams.
Anyway,
she was phenomenal. I mean, she would have got my vote for Best Actress. And it's a lot like if Halle Berry won for Monsters Ball, then Michelle Williams could have easily just as won for Blue Valentine. The same type of performance, except she never has. Her character never gets that emotional eruption like the famous scene in Monsters Ball,
right?
Where she finally erupts.
Right.
I feel good. That scene, and then
I want to feel good. I want to feel good.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, Michelle Williams never really gets that moment.
No.
She has to stay internal the whole time. It's freaking powerful.
Right, and when she does say something, he immediately is like, "What? Wait." And
she has to shut it down.
And she has to shut it down. And you're like, well, it was.
She can't have her catharsis. It's like she can never have her catharsis.
Well, I told you.
Moment,
I think I told you on the phone or over at your house. I said I had just seen it like the day before.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that was a hard. It's a good movie. Hard to watch.
Great movie. I think it should be required viewing for couples, to be honest with you.
Well, I agree. But it was hard, it's still a hard watch. I said that's one of the hard watches of a movie I actually gave thumbs up to in probably 4 years.
Yeah, when that one comes out, definitely go watch it. 4-star, especially if you're married or in sort of a strong relationship, or not a strong relationship, but a sort of a. If you're in a relationship that's been going on a while and you're thinking about getting married, or if you are married or whatever, it's a freaking great movie, man. To watch. It should be required viewing.
Well, it'd be interesting to show that to like freshmen in college. Mm-hmm. It's like, just think about this. Just keep this in mind.
When you think it's the fairy tale.
Yeah, let's just keep these things in mind before you decide to think about the white picket fence. And,
Not everybody wants the white picket fence.
And nesting, yeah. Check
Not
that out.
Not everybody wants it.
Right.
Not everybody wants it. That's a hard reality.
Oh, on this topic, I was talking to someone recently. They were talking about how Cameron Diaz, of course, has been dating Alex Rodriguez.
Okay.
And that, of course, he has kids from his first marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the kids apparently don't care for Cameron at all.
Okay.
But when he was dating... what's her name?
This is now TMZ. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
We're Perez Hilton now.
Just deal with this. What's Goldie Hawn's daughter, Hudson? Kate Hudson.
Yeah, Kate Hudson.
Yeah, Kate Hudson. She was dating A-Rod for like a year before Cameron Diaz. So anyway, the kids liked her. I'm like, well, yeah, she's already a mom. She's already a mom. She knows how to be with kids. Cameron Diaz. She's never been in a really long relationship. Right. She's pretty much about the moment.
Like we know her.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
They said that like you had authority.
I just thought it was interesting because we're talking about Blue Valentine, and I thought, well, A-Rod's kids. Early, I said, yeah, that's probably what it is. She's I think 40 years old now.
Well, kids want stability. Kids want kids.
And not that she's a bad person. That's what I'm saying.
I can say this from experience as a kid and as a parent,
right?
Because I've seen both sides, and kids just want you there.
Right.
They can live with it being hell on earth. They just want you there. They'll get used to the parents arguing constantly.
Right.
They just want you there.
Exactly.
And so
because it's a type of stability, like you say.
They just want stability and all that. They want to know. Mm-hmm. They want to know what to expect.
Right.
And if A-Rod isn't happy with Kate Hudson, then he's got to move on. No matter what the kids think.
Well, it's true. But I just thought that was interesting because you're on that.
Yeah, but I get your point. Even I get your point. Even if all that is not necessarily true of Cameron Diaz, because we don't know, we can't judge.
Well, yeah, right.
So
right. I could be totally way off.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something else.
Saying your assumptions are true.
Yeah.
Your point is totally valid. You know what I mean?
Right.
That.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Well, I just thought that was interesting.
She would be the Blue Valentine. Well, sort of.
She would be something. She would be a person
who could end up like.
That had well anyway
so now they don't know if you haven't seen Blue Valentine, you don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Right.
All right, here it is, nutshell. Spoiler alert. Okay, Blue Valentine. It's about the beginning and the end of a relationship, and
yes,
it just basically concentrates on those two things.
Right.
And when they meet, she is pregnant. They meet, fall in love, blah blah blah. Well, she's already pregnant. She didn't really realize it with this other guy's kid, and she's going to abort it. She can't do it, and he's like, "Look, I'll help you raise it. I'm there for you." Right. And it's like, "Oh, love. He's going to help me, take care of me, blah blah blah."
Everything's great.
Everything's great. So they're going to get married, blah blah. The end of the relationship is X number of years later, was 7 to 9 years later, somewhere like that. Mm-hmm. So 7 to 10, somewhere in there. Years later, and he's sort of content just being a domesticated, working stiff who's married, and she's not happy with that. She wants to grow. She wants to get out there. She wants to grow as a person. She wants to have a career, blah, 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 blah. And she feels suffocated and trapped and everything else, and he just wants to be married and love her, and that's all he's content. And they basically rip apart because of it, because neither one of them can really give anymore. He really can't. He's to the point where he can't. He doesn't want to do more with his life, and she's at the point where she cannot accept that anymore.
Well, they've grown so far apart.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole idea of him. I mean, it's almost like it's like he's not even aware of the desperation of it.
Yeah.
Of him wanting to go on this to this motel where they have like some kind of gift certificate.
It's like the most claustrophobic hotel you've ever seen in your life. Too.
Right, and it's the most tacky, claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And she's like, but it's like at least 2 hours away from where she's got to work, and she has to work the next day.
Yeah.
So nothing about it made any sense.
Yeah.
And she's like, I really don't want to go, but he's like so, I guess, pushy.
He's convinced they'll save the marriage if they just go.
Right. Yeah. So she's like, all right. Well, then it really doesn't help anything. In fact, it makes things worse.
Makes things tremendously worse.
I mean, they can't even make love in a way that each can agree on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the movie probably got close to or did have an NC-17 rating. But it's, you applaud them for mature filmmaking is to go there.
Yeah.
But they can't even agree on that.
Yeah. This became a relationship show for some damn reason.
Yeah, what's that?
TMZ, Dr. Phil, and Perez Hilton all at once.
Yeah, I'm sure Cameron Diaz is fine. I'm just saying,
Oh, I know she's fine. Ding.
Ding. She just doesn't strike me as someone that, is ready to, like, take on an instant family situation.
Oh, God, no.
I'm like, well, you strike me as the type, you've been single for a long time. You get to party when you want. And
that's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing. That's just who you are.
Right.
So I'm thinking, are you really sure you want to... That doesn't seem like a match that's going to work. Anyway.
Yeah.
Good luck to them both.
Yeah. And bravo, Rochelle Williams. You are my post-Oscar should have voted for person.
I feel a movie rental suggestion coming on.
Okay.
All right. This list.
Speaking of NC-17 movies,
Yes, there's a top 20. The box office for the top NC-17 films. What they've done at the theaters. Mm-hmm. I thought this would be interesting to discuss because you always wonder why. With these radar movies that are out, and they're always talking about, well, we can't make money if it's rated X. We can't make money if it's NC-17.
Right.
Well, there's truth to it, number one. And two, people are always complaining about, well, everything's PG-13 now. Well, there's a reason for that, too, because making movies is expensive, and if you can't make money doing it,
then you can't make movies.
You can't make movies.
Right.
So there is a business side to it. That said, I will give you, what should I give them? 10 on down the list?
because we got to wrap it up.
All right.
We're about 5.
Gotcha. Number 10, Wide Sargasso Sea. Some of these, just think if you've actually even heard of some of these. 9, Bad Lieutenant. I've seen that, of course.
That's a good movie.
8 is Crash.
Saw part of it.
Crash is the...
it's not the one that won Best Picture.
No.
It's the...
David Cronenberg version.
Yeah. It had James Spader and that hot
Holly
blonde,
Hunter.
that hot blonde chick that I like. I can't think of her name. She was in The Game.
Oh, was she in that too?
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah. I like
She's got 3 names, whatever her name is.
I always thought she was hot.
The Dreamers, number 7. Number 6 is Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. 5 is Lust, Caution. 4, Bad Education.
That's the one I never heard of. Out of all those, that's the one I don't know what the hell that is.
Which one? The
Bad Education. I know all those, but I don't know what the hell Bad Education is.
Isn't that I think that's a foreign film with that Alomar.
Oh, you look. I'll look at it.
I think that's what
you
that
do
is.
the list. I'll look at that.
Okay, number 3 is
research on the fly.
The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. This is a first. We have a look up while we're on the show.
Yeah.
Number 2, Henry and June. Number 1, Showgirls. Now, if any of these, if any of these movies you hear and go, I don't believe I know what that is. Yeah, that's why they don't make a lot of NC-17 movies. They just don't make money.
Right.
If Showgirls is number 1, it made $20 million. And the budget was probably near $20 million, if it wasn't more.
Good call, Pedro Almodovar. That's what you said.
Oh, okay.
And for scene of explicit sexual content. So take that for what it's worth. Yep. Bad Education. Pedro Almodovar. Spaniards, them hot-blooded Spaniards.
We may be contributing to the delinquency.
He has several. He has several on this list, doesn't he? I mean, Time Up, Time Down is him. I don't know what the rest.
He's probably seen as one of those unflinching directors.
I saw Time Up, Time Down. It was a good movie. It was the one that Antonio Banderas that made him famous. He came to America.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, some of the again, I know his name.
He
but
kidnaps.
I haven't seen
He's
it
obsessed with his actress or model or something, and he kidnaps her. And
now, Wide Sargasso Sea, that one's memorable because that's the movie where Nicole Kidman apparently was so jealous of the star that the star that was in Wide Sargasso Sea would do. She went on to do The Firm, wasn't it? She's like the woman that seduces Tom Cruise at a beach. So supposedly then Nicole Kidman was like on set, just like, all right, Tom, don't be going for this woman now.
More TMZ.
I know, that was a rumor.
This is the biggest TMZ episode we've ever done.
Well, we need to get one of those out of the way. So here it is.
All for your latest gossip and whatever.
Yeah, today's a gossip show. Sorry, we didn't have much going on.
I guess we are in a gossipy mood, though. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Might as well feed it.
We'll put up a little disclaimer. Nothing we've said
makes any sense.
Makes any sense, exactly.
Except for Michelle Williams would have been my vote for Oscar. That's the only thing I said I'll stand by today.
And that Take It Easy is a pretty good song, I think.
In the right company, the right setting. All right, do the quote. Do the quote thing, for God's sakes. We have to get out of here.
All right.
We have to be somewhere.
Yes, quote of the week. All right. Where were we last week? Crap.
I have like memory. It's a memory. It's a distant memory now.
Give me a second.
We haven't done one of these in what, 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
It's been a while.
Since the Oscars. So like 3 weeks?
Oh, I know where.
2 weeks.
I know where we left off.
Okay.
Okay. I want to speak to someone in charge. I want to lodge a complaint.
Oh yeah.
You have no right to make people crazy. That's where we left off. So if you said Close Encounters of the Third Kind, you were right, because that is the whiny dialogue from Richard Dreyfuss.
Awesome.
God bless him. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, this week's quote of the week, just for fun. And through our pain, we will make them see their injustice. And it will hurt, as all fighting hurts. One more time. And through our pain, we will make them see their injustice. And it will hurt, as all fighting hurts. All right. So think about that.
If you want to guess the quote, go to our Facebook page, The Incredible Hoax, on Facebook, Round the Wall, or email us at hoke@redseatelevision.com. That's hoke@redseatelevision.com. And we're done with our hiatus. I think we'll start getting back into gear with this. I couldn't take it anymore. I was just, oh my God, I've been so tired. And just, oh, my brain's been on meltdown.
I understand.
I don't think I could have done a show. I'd have been like this. With drool. If I had done a show.
It would have been our extra special quiet episode. You would have been like sleep, and,
like,
and I would have been, and this week's
it would have been like this. Hey, Chris, did you see this movie? Yeah. Well, what'd you think of it? Good.
What's your movie rental? Wizard of Oz. But everyone's seen that. Yeah, I'll say it again.
You go to the red box, just push a button. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to Redbox and pick number 7.
Do we have a video rental? All right, that'll be our last thing. You have a video rental? For Whipped Jet?
Just for fun, the Prestige from 2006, Christopher Nolan. If people haven't seen that yet, it's a really good movie. It kind of got sandwiched between the Batman movies, but
the magician thing with Christian Bale. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Check it out. Yeah. I think it's a movie that really has a lot of depth to it. Kind of edgy, doesn't have necessarily a happy ending, and along with another movie Hugh Jackman did, it's one of his best performances. So of course, Christian Bale's always great, but Hugh Jackman's really good in this too. So check it out.
I guess my video rental. I'll give you one. It's a movie I watched recently, and it's a famous movie, but I watched it. I really have a new appreciation for it. It's Jerry Maguire. I watched it recently.
Love that movie.
Now, Cuba Gooding Jr. annoyed me back then, and when he won the Oscar, I was kind of like, and I have to admit, he still annoys me. I'm not the big fan of that performance that most people are.
Right.
But that aside, to me, the story is not the Cuba Gooding Jr. story. The story is Tom Cruise, which is his best performance. Have I said this already? Did I do this a video pic?
As a Jerry Maguire?
Okay,
no.
My absolute favorite Tom Cruise performance, without a doubt, is Jerry Maguire. And he's phenomenal in it. I mean, he's the whole broad range of emotions that, he's sometimes nutty like Jack Nicholson, and then he goes down, and more subdued, and he's all over the map.
Some people expect me to flip out.
Yeah. And then Renee Zellweger, the whole relationship between them two is just incredible. And what?
That's me. When I think of that movie, I just think that relationship, whatever. It's just, I sigh every time.
Yeah.
And
Bonnie Hunt.
But frankly, ladies, y'all don't make it as easy as Renee Zellweger does. That movie, I'm sorry. Y'all just don't. If all of y'all were like Renee Zellweger in that movie, I would have been, well, anyway, never mind.
Yeah, usually, my experience, they're usually more like the Bonnie Hunt character or the Kelly Preston one. They're one of those two. They're never. Renee Zellweger is sort of the myth.
Yeah.
She's the unattainable goal. They're usually they're usually all the spit pissed off Bonnie Hunt, or they're the materialistic aggressive Kelly Preston.
Right.
That's been my experience.
If they were like Renee's character in that movie, yeah.
Sorry, ladies.
Life would be so much easier for me, but that's just.
Yeah.
So anyway, great movie. Yeah. Kind of hard to watch at times.
So yeah, ladies, watch it, and remember, even though you may be Bonnie Hunt, or you might be Kelly Preston, we really want Renee Zellweger. So keep that in mind, and we'll do our damnedest to be Jerry Maguire. And with that, I bid you adieu.
See you, everybody.
Ah!
Take it easy.